IPR is, and why patent, and why artificial intelligence is so important in today's technology frontier, and other related IPR and patent analysis. So before going to core of my discussion, I want to mention some example of Dr. Amrita Gadgil. I think you all have heard about her. Uh, uh, Recently, she has done a revolutionary research on Bosch condensate particle, and she has developed these Bosch-Einstein condensate in a remotely lab, and it is a revolutionary invention in this COVID situation. So if it is possible in this COVID situation, so I think in this hackathon, those who are present, you can see an immense opportunity, whatever obstacles is with us, because Dr. Amrita Gadgil's research enhance the capabilities of remote lab control, and which is a research application aimed at operating quantum technology in inaccessible environments such as space. Through these condensate, many things can be occurred in future. So with these few words, I want to start with today's challenge, grand challenge, what we are facing now. I think some of challenge we have covered, but when we are in a complete lockdown period, there was a immense demand of test kit, innovative PPE, nutrient composition to fight corona, mask, gloves, innovative ventilator, new transport system, robot, etc. So whenever we are in a new situation, different problems are coming, and we have to cope up with those problems, and solving those problems creates new innovation. And whether this innovation is unique or not, that is the main thing in intellectual property rights. So what intellectual property rights? Basically, it may be groups of invention, it may be one invention, single invention, it may be literary work, it may be symbols, it may be artistic work. So intellectual property is a bundle of property. And in one person, there may be lots of intellectual property. So in today's technology frontier, the concept of property has totally changed, and intellectual property, the product of mind, has taken part in today's technology frontier. Now, where we stand, I, on behalf of Department of Science and Technology, I am in the support organization like that, or service provider as a government organization. As because we are in a startup ecosystem where big companies are there, support organization is there, research organization is there, service provider is there, funding organization is there, universities is there. Why we are here? But there is no linkage. Though we are here, but we have no linkages. But we have to make this linkage. As because we have many new ideas, innovations, and research, and we have many more startup at various stages, entrepreneurs, startup members, investors, mentors, advisors, other entrepreneurial people, people from related organizations. So we need to collaborate with each other to meet up the challenges what we are facing now. So I am just projecting a few key players. There are so many key players in India nowadays, and many more startups who is working very well. Like recent success, Flipkart, Amazon, Snapdeals, Just Dial, Make My Trip, and all these. With all these, we are facing much more great competition, as we have big countries and we have 135 crores of people in India. So we are in a big competitive market. And if we see Indian startup trends from 2017, we find out that 41% resides in Bangalore, but we are nowhere in West Bengal. Though we have poorly planned road, insufficient logistic, slow internet, numerous outage, frequent power cuts, everything is there. Some problem has even been solved. However, our mindset need to be solved, need to be encouraged, need to be inspired, as because Bangalore in our country has got some position. New Delhi is getting some position, but not West Bengal. Why not? It is a hub of intellectual property. West Bengal is hub of intellectual property, and most of the important work, even Bose Einstein, condensate, and all this, which I've started my lecture. Everything is from West Bengal. So why we are in back? We are in much more back in that position. In 2017 global startup system, what we are seeing? We are seeing that Bangalore is in 20th position. And in 2018, New Delhi is the 21st position. And now in a global innovation index, India's position is 40. Well, from last year, we are getting some better position, but we have to be more better position. So for that, what we have to be done? What is that? First is the technology marketing. We have many intellectual properties, technologies, everything is with us, but we don't know how to plan in a proper way so we can market our technology. So we have idea. Then when idea is formed in a technology, we need to scan it, but we are not scanning. As because when we are scanning the technology, we get new ideas what to do now. As because always when we're scanning our technology, we take concentration on basically, particularly on literature survey. Not we are concentrating on patent literature. Whenever we are concentrating on patent literature survey, we get many more ideas, feasibility and market study, and we get what are the problems your competitor has already solved, and who are the players in your field. So patent information searching is very important. Technology scanning, feasibility and market study is also very important. Technology modification and development. After scanning, you need to modify your idea as because it may be relevant to our others idea. Then you will lose your intellectual property and will not be able to do your business in the market. So that is why when you have some new idea, you need to scan your idea. And IP protection management is very important. We have lots of IP, but we don't know what IP we have. And we need to properly market our commercialization, and market plan need to be properly done. So this is the main cycle of technology marketing. It takes 3 to 5 year roadmap. That means from research to technology marketing, as because it has 4 stages: ideation, design, engineering, and validation. And 6P is very important, where I have added 1P, that is protection. What is that 6P, which was before? Before I am adding, it was only 6P. What was that? Proper research, proper paperwork, proper pricing, publicity, partnership, people's acceptance. As because for a product to be marketed, it should be have proper research to be done before the product to be in the market, and paperwork should also be done. However, protection, where is protection? We need to have some protection on your product, then proper pricing, then publicity, then partnership, then people's acceptance comes, and you will again do your research, and in this way technology transfer process will go on. This is the main cycle, what already I have covered. You have innovation, research, development, assessment, information and communication, investment, collaboration, and in this way, we can go to again start our research work. So what is the form of protection? There is a lots of form of protection, but most important form of protection I will discuss today, that is IPR is a general term, or it is a general term covering patent, copyright, trademark, industrial design, geographical indication, layout design of integrated circuits, protection of undisclosed information. So today our task is to locate proper roadmap for research, innovation, ideation, and product development. I think you all have some idea. In 1944, Western deployment in order to reconstruct their world on economics made at Bretton Woods, because during that time for Second World War there was a high recession, like today's recession. The revival of gold standard was in offing, and during that time 23 member countries formed World Bank. Afterwards, World Trade Organization was formed, and WIPO was formed in 1967. What is WIPO? World Intellectual Property Organization. The WIPO is a specialized agency of the United Nations. It promotes intellectual property protection and monitor intellectual property protection all over the world. Its headquarters is in Geneva. Now I am telling you what patent is. Patent is a grant for an invention by the government to the inventor in exchange for full disclosure of the invention to debar others, to exploit the invention for commercial success for a limited period within the geographical boundaries of the nation. Each and every point is very important here, as because patent is a grant for an invention. It is not for a grant for discovery. Suppose you have discovered some new property, you have discovered some new use of some new metal, you have discovered some new plants. It is not it is not an invention at all. Invention should be novel, need to be some inventive steps. But all of a sudden, in the morning, you have find out some theory. It is not an invention. And this power of patent is a grant for an invention by the government to the inventor. That means who invent this. Even inventor and applicant may be different. However, invention is for inventor. In exchange of full disclosure of the invention. That means you have to disclose everything about your invention in the patent document to debar others to exploit the invention for commercial success for limited period within the geographical boundaries of the nation. That means you have to disclose everything in your patent documents. But we always suggest don't disclose everything. Always disclose the range of invention. That means the specification range, not the exact things, so that your technology know-how is preserved in your mind, as because there is no legislation till date to protect technology know-how. And this grant is for a limited period within the geographical boundaries of the nation. And this patent grant is for 20 years as per India being TRIPS signatory member. India is also abide by this rule, and India's the patent grant is for 20 years. Suppose you file today, if the patent is granted after 3 years also, this right will be from today to 20 years. And it is within the geographical boundary of the nation. That means as you file patent in India, it will be effective in India. However, there is no global patent, but there is a system of filing of globally, that is called Patent Cooperation Treaty. And it is a complicated thing, I think, for knowing all about this intellectual property. It is a long discovery, and long discussion is required, and it should week long, even year long discussions, and that is why we have started some course also. Now I'm going to the next part, that criteria of grant of patent. What are the important criteria for granting a patent? That invention must have the following criteria to be eligible for patenting. First is novelty. An invention will be novel if it does not form the state of art. And inventiveness. Invention must have come through inventive steps. There should be some inventive steps. Usefulness. Invention must possess utility for the grant of the patent. Novelty means this novelty is judged throughout the world. That means if it is novel, in India, it should be novel all over the world also. If it is not novel, that means if this type of idea is already protected in China, Japan, US, everywhere, then it is not patentable. So novelty is judged throughout the world. Then comes inventiveness. What means inventiveness? Inventiveness is very important criteria, and it is the challenge for a patent attorney to grant your patent, as because most of the patent is violated in these steps, inventiveness. And then comes usefulness. That means your idea and your innovation, idea cannot be protected. Idea should be in a form of innovation. That means it should be a process, a product, or apparatus, device. Then yeah, it should be useful. And usefulness is a very important criteria. Suppose someone develops some biogerm, then this biogerm is not patentable at all. So industrially applicable product is only patentable. So I'm giving some example of patentable invention. The invention can be a product, it may be a composition, it may be a process, a apparatus, or an improvement of any of this. But I must say, though Computer Society is organizing today's program, but computer software is not patentable. However, if hardware and software combination, you prepare something new hardware where software is in the back end, then it may be patentable. Suppose in this product, door lock, a product, it is patentable. Composition, chemical composition used in lubricant for door locks, it is also patentable. And apparatus, a machine for making for door locks, it is also patentable. A method for making door locks, it is also patentable, or any improvement of this. Digital door lock, it may be patentable if the hardware is new. Visual cryptographic system, it may be also patentable. Now, however, if you develop some software only, then then only that software is not patentable. Software is a copyrightable item in India. What would patent office look for? Patent office look for filing your patent as early as possible. That means if you have some idea and it will be some tangible product, you file immediately. Though the prototype may not be ready, as because patent office don't search for prototype, but they examine whether a prototype is possible or not. If prototype is not possible, then it will not be granted. Here one point I have to mention that if you published in a government forum, then you get 1 year extension time for filing patent. Though always I suggest don't file or don't publish or don't disclose anywhere before filing your patent. It is very important. As because then you will lose your novelty for your invention and it cannot be patented. However, being an attorney, I can say you, if something you have already published, you can come to us with that publication paper. I can compare that what extent you have already published, and if the core scientific thing that depends, that mainly describe the process and product, if it has not been published, we will file based on that particular things, and it will be granted. So if there is any issue with that you have already published, you can come to us. We can judge whether it will be patentable or not. So I'm giving another example of Professor Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose. I think you all know that he was not interested at all for filing patent. During that time, I was fortunate to find out his letter from Bose Institute that this letter was written to Rabindranath Tagore, where he writes that he wrote that some people from technology telegraph company came to him and asked to provide him the total invention, as because if it is patented, then there is a huge money. As he was not interested about huge money, he was interested about human mankind, social entrepreneurship, and for societal improvement. And during that time, he was not interested for filing patent. What happened then? Marconi patented. I was fortunate to compare these two patents. That means though professor's case was not patented, but I was fortunate to compare his square error with Marconi's square error, and found one thing, that it was two was different. If during that time patent was so popular, even his square error may also be patented. However, we lose the first inventor of radio wave. And that is why I have cited this example, as because if we don't have any idea about intellectual property and we don't know that it needs to be protected, then we will lose. We will lose our intellectual property. And what happened then? And then someone else will take up our idea and take intellectual property protections and get advantage out of it. Like Marconi get the patent, and he is the first inventor in the world. And for this technology, we have to, the radio technology, we have to buy from other country, as because we are not the first inventor. If we invent something first, then if we market in our country, then it is marketed here first, and the cost of these things will be lesser if it is from other country. So I think we should be concentrated on my product, my idea, my innovations. It is very important. And I am citing another example of positive things of Professor Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose. After repeated request of Swami Vivekananda through Nivedita, Professor Bose patented his electrical disturbances patent in US. And it was said that it is the first patent in US. And I think it was the first patent in US, and from during 1919. It was January 1900. Then comes, I'm giving some example of telephone technology. It was invented in 1877, Alexander Graham Bell. And I'm citing this example, you can see the revolutions. Why this revolution? It has definitely some inventive steps. It solves the prior art of previous model. This model has some problem, then this model comes, then this, and overcoming the all problems. Afterwards, this fast cellular phone comes in the market. And it was 1975 when the patent was granted. So I'm giving some few examples that for patent, it need not to be so complicated. Very simple invention may be patentable, and it may be useful also. And for innovators in hackathon, you should know that if this simple invention is patented, why not so many of invention we have with us? We have so much of intellectual property, we need to protect it immediately. In the past, you all know there was simple wire, and someone developed some hole. He has some idea that if there is some hole, it may be used as a needle. And if it forms in that way, it may clips. Then it is a James clip. It's a simple heater. What is the problem associated with this simple heater? Is it possible to say by someone? It touches the bucket. And when it touches the bucket, if it touches the bucket, there is a chances of electrification. And someone developed some crisscross arrangement and 4 floating ball in that way. Some crisscross arrangement and 4 floating ball, so that it can just float on the bucket. As it float on the bucket, so that it is a new invention and it solved the problem, previous problem. Then comes West Can. I think many of you who has some interest of trekking and in seeing Himalayan area, we have seen that there are lots of piles of this West Can. Someone developed this designer chair with this West Can, this processing technology from west to west. This is new innovation, and this is patentable innovation. And another example is the bionic eye. You can see how much royalty this bionic eye earned. Why? Because this bionic eye is helpful for blind people, and one blind can see through this bionic eye. Now I'm giving some example of why AI is so important in agriculture in everywhere also. I'm just in our patent information center, we have done some survey how AI may be important in agriculture and what are the patents working on this particular area. As India is agriculture based country and AI and IoT based some groundbreaking invention we have found it out that evolution of quality in fruits ripening. It's a patent granted in Indian patent number is there. Multitasking effort to reduce the human dependency for agricultural activities. Human is required in field, I know. However, suppose we are not in the field. If this is there, it can monitor all time. So monitoring is required. Even cultivation in a chamber using fuzzy logic wind intelligent technology, which is very important, and that has been developed by some Indian patent is also with that number. AI enabled fertilizer dispenser. It will dispense fertilizer equal quantity so that human error will be obsolete. Then comes AI in the cooking devices, system and cooking food items, receiving a recipe, storing the recipe, automated cooking device. I think this will come in future, automated cooking device. And then another important area where we have found out some few important patterns is that artificial intelligence in human health, where the sensor provides healthcare assistance. It may be helpful in today's COVID situation also. If we have some system in our hand through which we can monitor every time our temperature, body temperature, and if there is any cough, cold, there is sneezing, and there is some different health hazard, there is some aura in our body. And if this aura can be captured through AI, and if it can be assessed that we are not well, and it will provide us the sensing mechanism, it will provide us the information that you have to do this, you have to now take some water, you have to take this food. So these type of things are coming in future. I'm not going to discuss details as you are the creator of this type of things in future. And then another important thing in this field is a smart jar. Through this smart jar, you can cook and even you can assess the food quality. What is the quality of the food you can assess through this. And IoT apparatus to detect quality and shelf life of any for the purpose of food safety. And AI application in restaurant, automated food delivery system in restaurant. I think I can share some video if it is possible. Uh, After my lecture, I will share 3-4 video. And it is very interesting. We have promoted this startup who has food delivery system in West Bengal, and he has developed this automatic food delivery robot in West Bengal. It is installed in some restaurant, and we have promoted in different forum also. I think you may also see this Think Again Lab. He is a startup. It is a mind-blowing invention by our inventor. though he has not patented till date. But this technology, this robot is different from that robot. The technology is different. It is more cost effective. And door-to-door food delivery. I'm also, after my lecture, I am giving the glimpses of these innovations which we have collected for your. It is very interesting to see how this innovation and technology frontier is coming. But if we do not protect our technology, then it will be others' technology, not our technology. Then comes copyright. Can idea be copyright? Can idea be protected? Always this question comes in our mind. No, idea is in our mind. It is not in a tangible form. You need to write it in a proper form so that it may be a product, it may be a process, then it may be a patentable item, or this literary artistic work, writing of scientific papers, it is also copyright. So copyright is a bundle of rights, because in this copyright, rights is associated with performers, rights is associated with producer of these particular things. Suppose here I am giving the example of this program. Here the rights associated with this program is rights of the performer, rights of the producer, rights of the music director, rights of title song, rights of broadcaster. Suppose if you are marketing these things, that means today's lecture, then the royalty will be shared with you, the authors of this particular lecture, and all these things. So copyright is a bundle of right, and the right is associated with all those associated in that particular product development. So it is very important. Copyright is a moral right. This right cannot be violated. Books. Copyright exists in the books, but it is also a bundle of rights of the author, rights of the publisher, rights of a person publishing the books, rights of the internet. So it's a bundle of right in the book or copyright. For software, in India, software is not patentable. Though I have already mentioned that hardware software combination, like dishwasher, like automatic washing machine, these are patentable. As because software will get indirect protection, not direct protection, but software is copyrightable in India. And these are the rights you need to protect their rights also: software engineer, employer, licensee, and the owner in various territories if the software is developed by different countries. Adaptation of various works. When we were in Vishwabharati, we suggested them that you just change your work. That means you just translate Rabindranath Tagore's work in different language so that a new copyright will start and no one can violate Rabindranath Tagore's work in future. And it will start a new work again, and it will be a new copyright. Copyright is a right. It is a right from to throughout the author's life plus 60 years. Adaptation of various work. That means you can adapt your work. Suppose you are writing some poems. It may be adapted in music also. So when it will be adapted in different copyright, then who adapted this right, his copyright is also associated with that particular work. So copyright is a bundle of right. It is not a single right. So the fusion of technology and culture both can survive together. We have to remind it very clearly. So the third intellectual property right is, it is another intellectual property right is industrial design. A mechanism of the protection of outer feature, shape, configuration, ornamentation, surface pattern of the article, outer feature. I'm giving the example that you can see easily. This is protected in Indian Patent Office. Outward design of this particular cup, shoe. So any type of jewelry design, recycling PET bottle design, consumer products, pharmaceutical products. In India, therapeutic that means diagnostic method is not patentable, surgical method is not patentable, but the product you use pharmaceutical product, Its outward design can be protected through industrial design, and the functional characteristics of these new instrument used for diagnostic method can be patentable. So it is a very important thing that diagnostic method is not patentable in India. However, the instrument is patentable in India, and the outward design is protected as industrial design. It is another form of protection. There is a lots of protection in intellectual property rights. For textile and jewelry also, this outward design you can protect, and it is very important for small scale industry and also for the smarter startups. Example of a toothbrush. The functional characteristics of this particular toothbrush, if there is some zigzag fashion, the functional characteristics is under patent. However, the look of that particular toothbrush is industrial design. It is a two different intellectual property. I'm giving next bird the example of infringement of registered design. Here you can see the Birkin versus Park. The Birkin design this protected this design. The pattern of Birkin is the same like that part, and they sue them, and it has been less pattern was held to have been infringed. So we have to be very careful when we register anything. Then comes trademark. A trademark is a sign which individualizes the goods of a given enterprise and distinguishes them from the goods of the competitors. I think you all know the trademark. Coca-Cola, sorry, Pepsi. These are the trademark and logo. Even a child of 2 years, they know the logo, know the trademark only. They can easily identify Samsung, Apple, and all this. So it is the logo which identify your product. Suppose you have a new conception and you get patent, you get industrial design protection, you get copyright, then you want to form your company. Then how people know that you have a company? Through this logo. This logo signifies your product, that you have a quality product. I'm giving some example of trademark infringement. I think you all know this Glucon-D and the Dabur Glucose D. The Glucon-D was previously in the market, hence product, and Dabur comes later in the market. But they just copied the design for the mother and the boy, and they started marketing. And then hence just sue them. Afterwards, they changed their this Glucose D logo. So it is very important. I think many of you can see in the market Borolin, Boroline, Lakme, like me, Colgate, Colgate, almost same pattern writing in the packet. However, it is just passing off the main product. Now I'm giving in a simple way what geographical indication is. Geographical indication is a traditional technology. That means it is our grandfather's invention. The rice tech company take up our product and protected in USPTO. During that time in 1997, there was no legislation to protect our product. Then the rice tech company take our basmati and protected there. After 3 years in 2000, we have identified that our product has already been protected in USPTO. Then CSIR scientists challenged this project and 4 claim was revoked. In that way, we protected our basmati as during that time there was no legislation. Afterwards, turmeric was also taken by our scientists, Shumon K. Das and Orior P. Kohli. They protected it US. And after finding out the own dealing property in this document, and this was finding out by McJournal Advia, where it is written that own dealing property is long back before in India. It is a long practice. So afterwards it was revoked. So actually we were not aware of that fact that what can be protected and that's why something our product was taken up by someone else. And that GI Bangla Rasgulla was GI protected. And I think though Computer Society has no connection with the GI, however, there is a good connections. When GI branding will be there, that in product, suppose already Bengal Potochitro, Bengal Dokra, they have already clubbed some code in the logo, so that in the customer, if the customer wants to see that whether this product is the authentic GI product, they can see the scanning the code, they can see the total picture of the registration, photochitro, the details, the author, whether he is the authorized user of selling this product is not. So it is possible. So development of this software, particularly for GI branding and blockchain and all these things in this area, I think a good work can be done through this your society, and new startups may take up this work also. It is a challenging work. Even there is many problems. Suppose in Dokra case, there is a challenging health hazard, and if someone is interested, they can work on this particular health hazard and remove this health hazard. So GI, what GI is? GI is basically also a sign which is used in a particular product and says this product is the quality product. If you want to buy basmati rice, then you can see that what is the authentic GI registered basmati rice. Likewise, Rasgulla, it has also registered as GI. So GI logo is very important. Through this logo, foreigner and others people can know that this is the quality and this is the authentic product, and they will buy that product. And if it can scan and some code is there, through this code they can search through Google that what is the actual authorized user, whether from where we have purchased the product, it is the authentic uh, uh, mm, person is not, whether they have already registered or not. You can find out through this particular software associated with this GI product also. So there is also a scope of work on this particular area. So in a product, there is a bundle of intellectual property. Here in this watch particular, the new mechanism process constituents is patentable. If you just prepare some solar cell, some configured solar cell and mount on it, it can make charge from it, and it may not require help of battery also. Design external feature of particular one. It is a design protected. Trademark is Titan, HMT, whatever the latest trademark you all know. But copyright is engineering drawing. Trade secrets is manufacturing know-how. That is the main thing. What when I have started my lecture, I have already communicated. The main thing need not to be disclosed anywhere. It should be in your mind. That is the technology know-how. Like Coca-Cola company maintained it in 2%, and they don't fly in the same flight. If there is an accident, this trade secret will be lost. So protecting this trade secret is very important. And then comes GI. Swiss watch is very much famous for that particular origin, as it is originated in Swiss. Like Darjeeling tea, which was the first GI in India, it is special GI. Why it is special? As because it is produced in the geographical area in Darjeeling. So it is GI. Here is another example of that. Here is Malda mango. GI is protected as Malda mango, but the processing new constituents. Suppose you mixed up some new constituents with that particular fruity, then new product will form. So I'm just going. In GI registration, West Bengal is 6th in position, and in 2017, when Bangla Rasgulla was registered, highest number of GI was given to our Patent Information Center registered 10 GI on that particular year, and it is our proud privilege to be the top in that year during that year. So in that way, we have worked a lot on this particular GI also. Now I'm giving, I think time is already been 11. So I'm just taking few minutes and I'm just governing my lecture with a few important things. that file patent before publication. And what are the different stages? Write down the invention, idea or concept, check whether the invention is patentable or not. It is very important. If you have any idea, you can check immediately whether your idea is new, innovative or not. If it has been patented by someone else, then why you wasting your time to invent the reinventing the same thing? Then it will not be protected. You can modify your technology, you can modify your invention. So novelty search and decide whether to go ahead with the patent is very important. Patentability assessment. Drafts write patent application through patent expert. Writing of patent filing expert through expert is very important. Otherwise, you cannot express your patent in a proper format, as because it is a techno-legal field. You have to have the technology and it should be legally drafted so that it is protected under Patent Act and filing of patent. You can file patent today. Suppose you are not ready with the every experiment, then you get 1 year time to file complete specification. Within this 1 year, you need to complete all of the work what is remaining, and then you can publish your application within 1 month, and you have to provide the fees for that. And you, for request for examination also, you have to provide the fees. And when the first examination report comes, if you can satisfy the controller with all report, then it will be granted. And if there is any objection, you have to also respond to objection. In this way, patent will be granted. I think I'm already like 11, so I'm taking more 5 minutes to just cover. Is it okay? Hello?
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Yes, madam. Okay. You please carry on.
Okay. So this is actually patent information with about millions of patent granted every year. It is the most important technical information from where you can identify that where you stand in the technology frontier. What is your position? We cannot assess any time that where we stand. We have to assess. Otherwise, our technology will not be in the market in a proper form. As because we are, whenever we develop something, it is for societal improvement or for for daily usage or to improve our life. So if it has already been invented, you can modify this idea in such a way so that it is a new invention. In that way, you have to move to form new idea, new innovation, new product. And that is why assessing your invention before starting your project is very important. So from information, patent information, what you get? You get recent developments in any area, trends of development, assessing newer fields where you want to work. You need to work where there is a lack of work, where we need to work. That area you can find out. Emerging fields, solution of technological problem, prospective areas of investment, infringement in existing patents. Technically you can solve your idea. That suppose you have idea, but most of the patent of Indian patent, almost we have found that it is resembles with the Chinese patent. I don't know whether India and China is thinking I don't know, but we have found out that a startup from Purulia area, his idea is completely same with the Chinese patent. We have found out.
আমি 10 মিনিটের মধ্যে শেষ হয়ে যাবে। আমি
Jyotisekar, kindly mute your mic. Jyotisekar, kindly mute your mic. Madam has stopped giving her lecture. Jyotisekar, kind attention, Jyotisekar. Madam, carry on.
Yes. So actually, we have found out that our work is similar, almost similar. Most of the startups work is almost similar with the Chinese patent, and we are astonishing seeing this. So it is very important to, whether, I don't know whether being China and India is thinking in same line, it may happen. So there is there is a less possibility that a person from Purulia is just copying Chinese pattern, as because it is in Chinese language. They can't copy. So how it is so similar? So that is why we need to judge first whether our invention is unique or not. And even we are suggesting always that you can improve in such a way that it may be patentable. So taking expert opinion before going to start a new venture, it's very important. And that is why Department of Science and Technology started Technology Development and Application Center. I am the coordinator of that center, and we are starting this so to advise you to start your work, but in a proper manner, so that you be the unique in the market and your work don't violate the others' work, and all of we resides in the market with unique and new development and make our life easier. So we have to find our work. So where is the novelty? Novelty is everywhere. However, previously we have to search our novelty in that way. Now only through computer, and we have even started some help kiosk where if you are interested, you can write to us. We will find out your idea, whether your idea is novel or not. We have done some analysis on this some particular area, that is on turmeric and even neem, as it was patented in US, and what work is going on after this patent has been already protected in US. And we have found out in India, after this post 1997, when the turmeric was patented in US, that after that 344 patent was filed in India, and 309 was granted, and 309 was published, and 37 was granted. And in Kolkata, only one patent was granted. I'm just giving you some interesting things. That turmeric, you all think, you all know that antiseptic, anti-inflammatory properties is there, but you can see easily that some Department of Automobile Engineering, Government Polytechnic College, they are working on preparation of alternate fuel from turmeric. So this is a new area. When we have found out, we were astonished that it is possible. Then definitely everyone have to search your idea, whether who is in different line, who is the work, who is working in different line in different area, and who is your competitor. I'm not just giving you that all these things. In NIM patent also we have done a worldwide search, and we have found that 463 patent application. This is called patent landscaping. We can also find out IoT based patents in all over world. Here we found India is second in filing this NIM patent, and India granted patent, India tops the tally. These are the area where the most of the work was going on. And these are the Indian patent offices count at a glance. CSIR is the highest patent filing authority. Now I am giving you that this our center, Patent Information Center, is the first patent information center all over India. We have started work in since 1997 when Basmati was patented in US, but during that time only this was set up. I started my work from 1999 in this center, and we are category 1 all over the India. And we have facilitated many more grassroots innovators. I'm just sharing some few work. Here I am just giving some example of encouraging work by this group D of Directorate Youth Service, Pradeep Ghosh Chaudhary. He has done some lift. He has created this leaf, invented this leaf, and it was facilitated and funded by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and Government of West Bengal. We funded this, and this patent was granted recently. So if a group D invented some lift, so I think you can do, you can explore, and you can revolutionize, and we may be in the top of the tally. Why Bangalore? Why Delhi? Why not our West Bengal. Here, this farmer prepared this mechanical jute ribboner. I think jute rebonning is a long-term process, but this farmer developed some mechanical jute rebonner. Through this jute rebonning, the jute rebonning process is within 1 minute. Lots of jute can be rebonded easily through this machine. So there is a lots of thing. Here I also can mention that this dump leather in the Park Circus area was modified, and this leather is formed in that leather goods. This is the patent, granted patent of this Pradeep Ghosh Chaudhuri, which was in the name of Directorate of Youth Service. He was the inventor of this lift, and it was facilitated by us. So we are the help desk for facilitating filing patent and telling you whether your idea is innovative or not. So even we have started some course on IPR with Markout, and last year we have started certificate course we have completed. I think you student faculty may avail this course. For postgraduate diploma it is 20,000, and for advanced certificate for student faculty it is 10,000, and certificate course it is 5,000. In that way, I want to mention one thing. Lewis Carroll in Alice in Wonderland says that which direction should I go? Alice says. Cat says it depends a great deal where you want to go. Alice says, but I don't know where I want to go. Cat says, in that case, it really does not matter which direction you take. With all this viewer, I want to end my lecture here and hope, thank you for your patience, and hope I may cover some few aspects. With all this few words, I want to cover my lecture. If you are interested in any interaction, I have some few glimpses of robot I can share with you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your nice and informative presentation. We are really enriched. Now, if someone has any question, you can ask, or if you have any query, you can ask.
Good morning, ma'am. I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Ma'am, I want to know how the patent, suppose somebody I am looking for registering a patent, how do I know that already a patent has been registered in that idea or not? How do I search it?
Yes, that is why we patent information doing this novelty assessment for last 21 years. And this is a facility for all in this state. We are the nodal agency. So you can come to us. We are maintaining international patent databases. Through these databases, we are finding out, though we can't claim that it is exhaustive, but any till that, whatever search has been done through this department, I say every patent has been granted. Actually, we are doing very much good work on this particular issue. And if anyone have any issue, anything, whether you want to know patentability assessment, you can come to us. We will provide you the search report.
Now, madam, is the search you have to complete? There is no online facility where you can search, because there will be thousands and millions
No,
of patents.
online you can do free searches, but I think you can, there is some skilled work. You can miss, there is some IPC classification system, so which is a skilled work. And that is why we are doing this in our department. So preliminary search you can do through Google Patents, uspto.gov.in, wipo.gov.in, which is a free things. But as this is an expert service, we are providing this expert service here.
And ma'am, what is the cost of registering a patent? Is there any cost?
Cost is depends. If it is the name of institute in India, also different system. If it is institute and expedite system, then it is almost 1 lakh. And if it is in the name of 1 lakh for filing only, but for granting it may be 1 lakh 30, like that. And for individual it may be 30,000, 25 to 30,000 maximum for filing, and for granting 40,000, 45,000, like that.
So total around 70,000 is required for if a suitable idea is there which can be granted a patent for individual.
For individual 45, maximum 45 to 50.
Okay. Now, ma'am, you're telling about these 3 courses. In one of the course, I saw a certificate in patenting, which I think for individual is 10,000 rupees. Now, what is the duration of this course, and what is the difference between this certificate and the diploma course? There are 2 courses I saw.
There is a syllabus difference. Certificate you will get in glimpses of things, but there is a scope of patent attorney to be a patent attorney, and even technical person may be the patent attorney. Now, as per Indian patent law, not a legal person be the patent attorney. So, the science technology students may apply for this patent attorney exam. So, after completing this diploma program, they will be able to do this register as patent attorney, and they can give this exam. And through this exam, they will be the registered patent attorney, which is a very tough exam nowadays.
Okay. Thank you.
If someone else have any question, you can ask.
Ma'am, we need to complete a checkpoint 3.
Okay. Yeah. So here I will request the participants kindly note the email ID of Mohua madam so that you can communicate with her. So now this is a small token of appreciation from our side, from CSI.
I want to mention here one thing. Sorry, here. My email address. This is there is some change also. Just I have noted it. Please.
Madam, you can write in the chat box also, madam. You can write in the chat box.
I have changed it. I think you can now see. Okay. Okay, I'm writing in the chat box.
Madam, this is a certificate token appreciation from our side.
Thank you.
So we have emailed it to you. Okay, madam. So thank you again. Thank you very much for your nice and informative presentation. We are enriched a lot. So let's now move to checkpoint 3. I will request the candidates also, please go to checkpoint 3 and just start your demonstration. Okay. So thank you. All the best to the
Thank you.
participants. Thank you, madam. Again, thank you.
So I can leave now. No?
Thank you, madam. Thank you. You can leave this session, but your everlasting impression will be in your heart that you have given a wonderful lecture with so much, lots of tons of information, and we are enriched and we are indebted to you, sir, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you. All of we are signing off. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanesha,
Thank
for
you.
your nice presentation.
Welcome, sir. Actually, I am extremely sorry. As in the first part, due to some network problem, I was unable to.
We have understood due to the technical glitches you cannot, but however, for the rest of the show, you have proved your mettle and you have managed it fantastic. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you. I am leaving now.
Yes, ma'am,
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, sir, we can
Thank
now
you.
start checkpoint
Yes,
3.
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, thank you, all of you. I'm signing off.
Yes, now we are going to start checkpoint 3. So request to all of the participants kindly join in your respective vertical. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining keynote session.